So first, I want to ask you about like the lecture Dr. Nam gave you in December. So I see like I also like got the slide, and I know that you know about like how to write report. And the question here is like, do you understand what to do for midterm exercise and the final exam? Because during the lectures, we often give you information, and also like I sent you once. So I don't know, like you understand or you need more information.
We need more information, please.
Okay, so because I think you will do in your internship very soon, so that's why we do not like I myself and Dr. Nat don't want to give you more burden work. So for midterm exercise, very easy, and I sent it you already. So you have to create a Google form to do survey in like whatever for your research, for your one of your research topics. So I understand that you should have a research topic now for your internship, or even one current project, and you have to create a survey form on Google form to do so. Because if you can complete Google form to do a survey, so by reading your questions, reading the data you collect, so we understand, okay, how you can like do your research later on. Because the survey form for one research is really important. And the second one, the exam. So you do not have like direct exam in the exam room, but you will write report at home. So for the final report or final exam, you have to write a research proposal. And in the research proposal, you of course you will see like steps or like contents. I will give you more by email, so you can follow own instruction. But basically, it's not like a 1 page or 2 page proposal. It should be like a full proposal. So you have to also present the methodology, a bit literature review, and how you can present your data expected outcomes. So it's kind of like abstract of your research, extended abstract of your research. But why it is research proposal? Because in the research proposal, you have to convince funders, professors, that your research is worth to move on with. So I hope you are happy with that type of examination.
Can you explain more what we need to do with the survey? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure after the creating the survey what we need to do.
Okay, so it's different from research to research. So you have to select one of your research, current research or future research topic that you want to do for the internship. And you have to create a survey form to collect data. Of course, some of you will say, okay, but in your research, you don't need to collect data, right? So try to find out like one research topic that required data from other people and do like create a survey form to do so. And how to do a survey form and how to deal with like questions and data from the survey form. So I expect that you already, we discussed already a few weeks ago. Do you still have questions?
So what about the deadline for the survey and the proposal?
Okay, for survey, today is the 7th. Okay, so you will have 2 weeks from today. Okay, so it's quite like sensitive because it's like the new year. So but I think you should finish before the new year. It's not, because otherwise it's not easy to complete in January. So yes, and the survey form should complete by 20 of this month. Yeah, next 2 weeks. And for the proposal, I think in February, like 1 month from now, the 7th of February. And as I said, it's why I required you to do this type of report, because it should be very helpful for you. Because anyway, if you want to do internship later on, you have to provide the proposal, and it's like when you complete this report, so you save more time later on, and also like you will have more opportunity to work with more research topics, and also it's like help you to improve the writing skill to complete a proposal. So it's not only for this course, but also like for your further purpose. And now I will share my screen to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So about the surveys, so we only need to create the surveys, or we have to answer these surveys.
You should only like create a survey. But in my opinion, if when you create a survey form, you should answer yourself first to test if it is like working or not. Because often we thought, okay, that it's perfect, but sometimes it doesn't work in the way you expect it. Because when I when I look at that one and when I complete that one by myself to evaluate your work, so I will see like how it works, and then you should check yourself first. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, teacher.
I want to ask how many page do we need to write for the proposal?
I will give you more details by email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wanna ask a bit about the survey.
Yes.
Whether I should create a survey related to my internship project or not.
I think you should, because like, okay, for both survey and proposal, you should use the same topic to develop. I think at least it's better for you, but you may see, okay, I cannot have any, like I do not need any survey for my research topic, so you have to find another topic to create a survey. Then it's okay. But I mean, from my point of view, both survey form and research proposal should have the same topic, and it should support to each other.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
No problem. Yes, so we move to lecture 4, and in this one you can we talk a little bit about the data presentation and static for writing a proposal. So what we need for the final exam, and why we talk about the data presentation, because you already know about data connection, data processing, and when we have data, we complete pressing the data, but still like how to present the data in the way that other people can read it and can understand your results is important. And you can see here, so we have even facts or fingers or like own outcome you have, but sometimes not always you or even you, like you or other people can understand very clearly. So we have a number of answers, or we have a set of numbers, and then we have to like to give the context of process in the usable form. Always remember that sometimes you understand your research, you understand all information you need, and then you may feel, okay, it's easy to understand and it's also easy to others, but it's not true. So you have to always think about how we present our outcome, our results in the form that other people can understand. And always we have to explain them in a context, because with the same data, with the same output, but without context or in different contexts. So we will have different meaning. So that's why we have to always present again the context of our data, of our results. For example, here we have raw data and we have a number of answers, yes and no. Very often we can have from the survey. And so you know, a good survey, in a good survey, you should have different type of questions. For example, in your survey, you cannot have only like yes or no questions. And not always we have like multiple choices questions. Or not all the time we only have open questions. Because we should combine all types of questions in our form. Because we also need like exact information from interviewee. For example, they just say yes or no, because with yes or no question, it's easy to give answer, and also it's easy to process later on. And why we have to have also like a multiple choice questions? Because sometimes we need more information from interviewees. For example, with yes or no, we have not much information. And then like we have to get more data from them. And why we have to put also like open questions? Because sometimes interviewees can give us more information than we expected. So we have to give them space to do so. But not much, because if you give them 5 questions or 10 questions, open questions, so they do not have time to answer your survey. So make it more attractive, fast to understand, fast to answer. Otherwise, you cannot get what you want. And here is question to get yes or no answer. So you see here with raw data, we have only yes or no. And with this raw data, we cannot understand anything. So that's why we have to explain the context of those answers. And we have to process the data and we have to present them in understandable way. Because here we have only, let's see, 11 answers. But if we have like 40, 50, even 100 answers, so look at answer with this type of presentation. We cannot understand how many percentage is a no or how many percentage is yes. If we mix them like this and we do not have any other information to present our data. And example 2. So also we have like 6 numbers here, and the context is like scores in the 6 exams of one student. So we also like have to present the data in the way that we understand, okay, how good the student is and how he like which topic he is good at, or which topic he or she is not good at. Yes, here like the number of matter from a client, energy client. So we also have to present them in the way that, okay, we understand how many like cubic meter of gas, or how many like cubic like not cubic, but I mean kilowatt hour, for example, for electricity. We should read from this raw data. And okay, so just take another example from how to present our data in order. We have like data from 26 sample. Here is children, and the age is from 1 to 6. So we have like this. We have the first table to present. Okay, how many children at each age from 1 to 6. So the first table, we see like a frequency distribution of age. So we have to classify them in each age. And the second one is quite similar, is frequency distribution. So always like at the beginning, at least we have to present our data in frequency distribution table. That is very basic step. With all type of data, we have to reform them in frequency distribution table. And it can be like the most detailed one as the first table. So we have 6 level of age. So we present our data in 6 groups. But sometimes if you have larger range, not 6, but another type of data, you have like 100 or 1,000 range. So in that case, we have to use group frequency distribution. We have to make it in group. It's not each value, each level in the range, but you have to combine like here you can see 2H, for example, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. And in that, by that way, we have like a smaller, like more abstract table. In this case, you do not see like a big difference between the first table and the second one, because we have quite small range of data. But if we have larger range of data, we will see, yeah, it's more helpful and more understandable. And at least you can see and observe the data. You cannot see like a table with 1,000 of data groups. And the next one is also like a frequency, but that is like a cumulative frequency table. And in this one, we will see here, the first row is like 8 from 1 to 6. And the second row is frequency. We can see like a number of the data we have in each edge. And the last row is like a cumulative frequency. That means for the first column, it doesn't change. But from the second column, we have to accumulate the data from the previous one. So here, in the frequency cell, we have 3 at the second column. But cumulative frequency, we have to sum both like 3 and 5 together, so we have 8. And in the third one, we have like 7 and 8 is 15. So by the way, the last column represent all data we have, like 26 data points, because that is cumulative frequency. So also we can have a cumulative frequency by like a group. For example, here we do not present our data by age, but by a group of age. So at the end, we also have the same number as before. Have you used this type of table before in your research? No? Okay, maybe yes. So there are many types of data presentation, but basically we classify them in 2 types. And it's like a graphical and a numerical. And it really depends on what data we have and the purpose of our research. Sometimes we just present our data in numerical way. For example, you can use like a statistic calculation, and you present only like mean, median, or standard deviation, and other like a table of data from statistical calculation. But sometimes graphical presentation is like better to present the data. And in the writing form, often we use like numerical presentation. Like we have to write more numbers or more calculations and explain them. But if you want to do a presentation, so graphical presentation of data is more helpful, because with graphical presentation of data, it's faster for audience who can observe, understand what you present. Even like here, you see, in a slide without any graphs or tables, it's not easy to, at least it's not very attractive. And it takes time to read and to understand. But in a slide with table, with graphs, it's easy to see is more attractive to look at. So you see, it really depends on like what form of like the format you want to deliver your results to audience. So with the same data, with the same output, but you have to select the best way to present your outcome. Here you can see that we have both graphical and numerical presentation of the data. So at first, just look at the table on the right hand. So we have like a treatment group. We have 3 groups, and the frequency for each group is like 15, 25, and 20. So we have in total we have 60 points of data, and in the next column we will see the proportion. We can say like here is full calculation presentation, and then we have 0.25, 0.33, 0.40, 470, and present this way in the third column is not really nice, so we convert to the last column. It's 25%. Sorry, it's like a virus. Yeah, so we have percentage of the data part for each group. And okay, so here we present our data in numerical way, but in graphical way, you can see in the figure on the left. Here we have 3 columns, and it's very easy to find out like which one is better, and we can see by ourselves the differences between each group. So it's more visual to everyone to observe data, but presenting data in numerical way is more accurate. Like we have very accurate output here, even like 25%, even like 41.7%, for example. So you can see here we cannot have that much detail as in the table when we see the graphical presentation.
Thì lên chưa?
Yes.
Mọi người chào, em là thầy ạ.
Hello? You want to say something? Yeah, and here also like a different type of graphical presentation. So here in this one, you use we will use like a bar chart, but here we use a pie chart. In this one, and we have to decide which form is better. So sometimes bar chart is better, but sometimes like a pie chart is better. So especially when we present in percentage, and in total is 100%. So we use pie chart like it seems better. But anyway, like again, whenever you decide to present your data in a form, so you should think, okay, what the final message you want to deliver to audience. You want to emphasize about like the percentage of each group in this case, in this example, or if you want to present in bar chart, that means you want to emphasize the absolute value of each group. So look at this one, we will see absolute value like at 25, 20 or 15. But look at this pie chart, we do not know like the absolute value, but we only can see the percentage or the proportion of each group to the whole population. And sometimes we will have to present both types of, or like even more type of data presentation, because it format will provide different meaning, different message to audience. So, and sometimes you want to present more than one message or one meaning. So that's why you also can select both or even more than two types of data. And yeah, sometimes you have to also present by this. So a question is, have you used or have you like develop, present this type of data? We see like the 5 number summary. Why we have 5 number summary? Because you can see here we have Q1, cutter 1, like here you can see explanation, the minimum data, the median, the max, and the cutter 3. So have you used or have you like create this type like a 5 number summary data for your research? Any of you? No, okay. So here you can see the first one is on the top. We have, for example, here we have a number like data in the range from mean value to max value. Yeah, so we have mean and max. That means all other data will be between these two values. But here in this summary, we do not see the data in each, like we will not see the value of data, but we will only see the number of data we have. For example, you can see here in each we have 4 ranges. The first one we have from mean value to Q1, and the second from Q1 to median. The third one from median to Q3, and the last one, the fourth one, from Q3 to max value. And in each range, we will have 25% of data. And you can see we have 25% of data, but because we do not consider the accurate or exact value of each data, so we have different like large of each range. So look at this one. We will see, for example, from mean to Q1, we can guess from like 40 something to 60, like a 45 to 65. We have 25% of data part in this range. And also like from median to Q3, this one is like the luggage range, but in this luggage range we also only have 25 data part laying in this range. So this presentation, like a 5-number summary, will tell us like how the data distributed in the certain range. Okay, so we complete the first part, like data presentation, and I want to have a screenshot now. So now please open your camera. Still, we have some students without any camera open. But anyway, we have to continue. Okay, Thank you very much. Now you can close your camera. Can you see my screen again? Okay, so in the second part today, we will talk about the research proposal, what we will work with, or you have to complete your proposal later on. And we will have overview of the research proposal, writing a proposal, and use the tool for citation management. And also we can have a session of writing a CV if we have time or if you want. So research proposal is a document that provides detailed description of the intended program. So that means you should have already your topic, research topic. You have to understand what you want to do and what you expect to have after your research, and why we have to do research proposal, because we want to apply a scholarship or fellowship or internship for like to complete a course or to start a course. And sometimes you want to apply for a job, and sometimes you want to apply for a grant, the funding for your research. So it really depends. And I think now at the moment you may have to apply for a internship for your master, or very soon you want to apply for a job, like even for a scholarship for PhD. So any of you want to do your PhD after your master, or you want to work after your master? And remember that we will see like each organization, they will require different format of the proposal. Often they will give you a format like, okay, how many parts and the number, like the content of each part, and even the length of each part you have to follow. But sometimes they do not give you more like detailed format, but they just give you quite general guidance. So you have to base on that guidance and develop yourself a proposal. So that's why understanding how to write a proposal is important, because even like a specific format of each organization may different, but in general, they should be quite close to each other with very essential parts. And you can see it quite a typical selection process. Why we have to understand this selection process? Because if we understand, so we see like what information we should put in our proposal. So how, like what type of people and how many times they will evaluate your proposal, and what do they expect from your proposal? So you see, even like after verifying or scanning application, your document or your proposal can be rejected already, because you choose the wrong topic of research, or here the format is not respected. That means you do not follow guidance, or the quality even from outside is not qualified. What makes a good proposal writer? So you should have concrete ideas to write. So very fast, when they look at to your proposal, the title or the very short summary, they understand what you want to present very clearly. Do not like present half a page, but it's hard to get one single point you want to emphasize. Logical and clear thinking. You have to present your idea, the topic, and the methodology in very clear way. Easy to follow, understandable, and even in the proposal, you should present your logical thinking. First step, second step, third steps, and it should ordered in logical way. So here is like an example of research proposal. Of course, it's not the detailed structure, but often we have when we apply for one grant. For example, we have to present the title of grant, referees. So referees, that means you have to ask some relevant expert in the field, because sometimes you know very famous professors, but they are not in the field that you are applying. So you should like consider to us like trusted of famous professors in the field that you want to apply for. Otherwise, it's not relevant. And here you also can see non-scientific abstract. That means you have to understand your research and explain them in non-scientific language. Because why? Because sometimes people who read your research is not from the same field as you are doing now. And if they cannot understand what you are doing at the first sight, it's not easy to move on. So we have to prepare for non-relevant people who read your research. They even like their professor, but they are not working in the same field as you are. So that's why we always have to give scientific and non-scientific abstract of a research. So all scientific abstract should be in a summary of research. Summary of research, you have to write like a half page, at least to 1 page, to present the key message, key expected output from your research, and the key assumption and the key method, research method, and the key tools to process your data. That means in your summary of research, people have to understand, okay, what you are doing, what you expect to get from your research, what tool you use to implement your research, and the contents of research proposal. That means like the own key contents as we present in summary of research, but we have to explain more with more information, with more like data or explanation, or even like introduce the tools that you will use in your research. And very often in one of research proposal, you have to attach your CV. In this course, you don't need to attach your CV in your research proposal. The first one, very important. Sometimes the people that read the title of research and they will decide to move on or not. So choosing a good title of your research is also like an essential skill. A good like title is give reviewer a general sense of what you are investigating. For example, using GIS to explore potential of bioenergy in Vietnam. So this one is not too short, it's not too long, but still like people understand the expectation as the main output of your research is like a potential of bioenergy. Where in Vietnam? Using what technique? GIS. So they know like what you use, like what tool you use in your research, the final purpose, the context of your purpose. And yeah, not good one. It's like too long and too technical title, or too short and broad. It's too broad and it's not easy to understand what you want to do specifically in your research. So you can see here with the same research as above, but the second title is not good. Exploring the potential capacity of energy production from biomass, biogas, and biofuels in some provinces in Vietnam with the application of GIS technology. You see here, the second title, they have the same idea as the first one. But you see, the first one is much better. Like it's short enough, it's understandable, and it's even with the same information they can convey. But in the second one, yeah, it's too long, and with many keywords that readers and reviewers, they have to remember. So it's not good one. So always. So the tip here is, at first you can have very long title of your proposal. And at the beginning, do not limit yourself with any length of the title. Just write what you want to write to present your research proposal. And after that, you would find like, okay, which group of letters can be combined. For example, here, the potential, in the second title, the potential capacity of energy production. So the potential capacity then is equal to potential. So we can cut like words to make it shorter. And the second one, you see, energy production from biomass, biogas, and biofuels. So for short, it's bioenergy. Yeah, so we can see when after write out very long title like this, so we can cut many like letters to make it shorter, like energy production from biomass, biogas, and biofuel. We can say like bioenergy in some provinces in Vietnam. So for short, just in Vietnam, with the application of GIS technology. So for short, it's GIS. And then, yeah, from a long title like this, we can make it shorter and complete. So you see, do not try to make it short from the beginning. At the beginning, you write as long as you wish and write out everything that you think is most important in your research. And after that, we can shorten it. Because at the beginning, if you go directly to a short title, you may lose some important information that should be included in your title. So the title also like not only in scientific writing but also in other sectors is really important. So you will see like sometimes we decided to watch a movie because of its title. So the title should be attractive to audience that let them move on with your research. Referees. So those referees in your research, in your field of research, of course, referees should, as I said, in the same field of research, and also like we can find, we can recommend a scientist or college that will be like objective but not critical to the science. That means they may have some different opinion, but should not be too different, because different point of view will give you like will give more critical and more useful comments to your research, and is that is a good referees. And for not good referees, like do not choose very close collaborators, because if you recommend very close collaborators, that means you're like the college in the same university or in this even in the same team is not good, because maybe he or she will give you bias comments and it's not reliable. And also like do not choose the competitors. Okay, so I think some students, okay, need to say that like C is variable at the beginning, but the camera is not good. So in that case, often I expect that you will explain when I taught everyone to like to open the camera. And the second question about like the email. So I think I sent you email already, right? You just reply that email, so I think I will receive. And also like for midterm exercise and the final proposal writing, I will give you another email later for more information. So we talk more about the non-scientific summary. So a good non-scientific summary is like used for press release or like for non-scientific readers or even like a scientific reader, but not in the same field as we are doing now. So in that term, we avoid using acronyms because for us, acronyms in the same field is easy to understand because we work with them, we read them every day. But for people from other fields, they will not understand. And in this kind of like a non-scientific summary, we have to state why this like the importance of your research, the impact of your research, and at the end, you should give it to non-research friend or research friends, but it not in the same field as we are doing, to read it. And if they can understand, that means you are successful. If they do not understand, we have to rewrite it until like they can understand. So it's not good if we use very technical language. And also like again, try to not use acronyms even you define them. So for summary of research proposal, a good summary of research proposal should give a short but informative background to justify the research hypothesis objective. And I expect that you now know about research hypothesis objective. Of course, is very necessary, but research hypothesis. So I expected now you know how to define hypothesis for your research, whatever the topic you are working. Do you have any question about the hypothesis, or do you want to know more hypothesis? No. So yeah. So I assume that all of you understand how to write research hypothesis for your research, and we have to state very clearly your hypothesis. State objective or aims of the research proposal. So research proposal is not a research in general. So research in general, you just present the hypothesis objective. But for research proposal, we also have to present, okay, why you do this proposal. You do this proposal for internship application or scholarship application or job application, because with different type of purpose, we will have different level of writing. Because if you just want to do internship, so they will have less requirement. But if you want to apply for a postdoc, for example, so of course in that case, they will require you like more skills, more output from your research proposal. And very important, and I think that should be a very valuable part for your research proposal is the significance and innovation of your research. If you can emphasize one innovation part in your research proposal, this would be very helpful. Of course, without any innovation, it's still like good enough, very standard research for internship, for scholarship. But if you can have some innovation in your field, so it's much better, and then you have to state it in your this summary, because that will make you different from other applicants. If you have acronyms in this summary of research proposal, you should define them. And if you do not, it's not good if you do not state the purpose of your research, your study, or the significance, or like not about the, because we have to distinguish between like output and purpose or impact. So output, that is like the results you get from like data processing, but with the output, what we want to convey to audience and what impact that your outcome can make, or is there any innovation on it? So that is different. So in the summary, do not like focus much on very technical and condensed phrasing of your project. So do not try to present very technical terms or numbers. No, it's not a place to do so. So you just briefly present the tool and the methodology you will use for your research. And the more important part is like the impact, significance, and innovation in the proposal. So here you can see the main content of research proposal. The main content. Okay, so here you can see at the beginning we will have to write non-scientific and summary of research proposal, and after that we will have like the main contents, the contents of your proposal, from starting from introduction, the background of your research, significance of the proposal research, literature review, research methods, results, if you have something or expected to have, some discussion and conclusion and references. We see like many points as the full research or a full paper, but in your research proposal, it's not like as long as we write in a full report. For example, even with the same like introduction or literature review, but we do not make it long. For example, introduction of a paper or report, it should be like 1 page, but in a research proposal, we just focus on what are the most important. So we do not need to explain around. We go directly to the point and study literature review. We just select one or two main like existing literature that you use for your research. Also, for the research method, you do not need to explain like own functions, own methodologies, but at least you have to name it to explain what it is and how you use in your research, especially in reasons. Of course, sometimes you have not started your research yet, and now you are writing to apply for a grant to do your research. So you cannot have any reasons. So you have to present expected reasons. That means what you expect to have after doing own experiments or survey or calculation. Of course, if you have some results already, so you can write in your research proposal, it's more convincing because readers or like reviewers, they know you are good enough, you have motivation enough to work to continue your research because you have started already. And it's achievable because you have some results already, just like a research to continue. And that's why you are writing to apply for a grant or for a scholarship to complete your research. So the same idea for discussion and conclusion. Now we will go in deeper in each part. Introduction. Here you can see like key points you have to put in your introduction. And so all other points I think we have discussed already, but okay, set up boundaries of your proposal research. So often researchers forget to mention about boundaries because even in one field, we can look at the previous example about the bio potential of bioenergy in Vietnam. Of course, at the beginning we mentioned Vietnam, but we cannot like complete for all provinces. So that's why in this introduction it's time to set boundaries in your research. For example, you will work only in few provinces or in the one region, like in the northern part or in the center or in the south, even smaller or larger. It really depends on your actual research, but you have to state here more like more accurate boundaries of your research. Like we can have a time boundary. That means we limit, we do a survey or we do a research, but we consider data only from, for example, from 2020 to 2022, for example. So we boundary, okay, we will not work with data out of the timeline we set. Another boundary is like geographical boundary. As I said, you have to mention to state, okay, in which area you want to process or to collect data. Only one in one province, or in more than one province, or even in only one school, one university, or one district. It really depends on the type of your research. So you can say, okay, I will do survey on the water quality in this river, but only in the part of like a past one province, or I will do like air quality, or a plant, a specific plant in one forest. So that is like a figure boundary. So at least you have to define boundaries, time boundaries, and geographical boundaries for your research. You also can like state the current lack of understanding or technology that should need a proposed research project. Yeah, why you propose this research project? Because now in the literature review, we see like still a lack of understanding about this problem, or lack of technology about this problem. So that's why you have to propose some new technique, or new provide more understanding by working with more sample, or process more data about that topic. So that's why after your research, you can be better in this field, or you can provide more understanding. You provide new technique for this topic. And in this case, as you can see, self citation is positive. Why? Because if you have done something similar things before, and you just develop what you have done in this proposal, that means you are able to complete it. Because for a research proposal, to prove your capability is really important, because reviewer, they want to select some research topic from qualified researchers, and the feasibility of your research is also important. If you show your capability to complete the research, that is very positive point. Next part is goals or objective of your research. And good one should like include one paragraph telling the reviewer everything they need to know about this research proposal. Clear statement showing why this project is significant and the potential impact it will have. Do not make it like too short or too technical and condensed, but should not make it too long, because as I said, if everything is too long and then the reviewer cannot catch up the key ideas from your writing, it's not good. Remember that often they do not have enough time to read like carefully everything. They just catch up some most important part from your writing. So even you write long, but should be very clear, and reviewer should know where they can catch up the key point from your proposal. And significance of your proposal. So in this one, you have to answer yourself several questions, like, okay, what is the aim of this proposal? Is there any innovation of this proposal? And why, like, they should fund or they should accept your proposal? So let's talk about the innovation. When we talk about innovation, do not think about, okay, you have to invent many like very significant improvement in your field. No, innovation in your research proposal, it can be like an adjustment from the technique that you use to do your research. For example, existing technique is not good enough, or you want to modify a function to make it better. So that is like innovation already. Or you want to find out the new aspect of a pieces or whatever. So that's innovation here. That means any new, like any update in the output or in the technique or in the methodology, whatever, that is like a little innovation from yourself, your contribution to the field. That means you have to emphasize that one. So in the research proposal, it's really important to emphasize any innovative ideas from your research. Literature review. So the first one is like is to give credit to those who have let your groundwork for your research. That means the existing literature that you read it, and based on what they have done, you continue your research. You are able to complete your research. The second part is like in this part, it should demonstrate your knowledge, understanding of the research problem. You understand the context, because without any context, your problem may be like not existing. So you present, you understand about the current problem, the context of your problem. Also, you understand like the theoretical or research issues related to your research questions, and indicates your ability to integrate and synthesize the existing literature, because what you will do should be like a part of that community. So if you understand the background and then you are able to link your research to the previous or existing research, is very important, because step by step, like each researcher will contribute to the whole society, academic society, and make it better and better. Yeah, as the last part here, you can see you prove your research, your proposed research will make a significant and substantial contribution to the literature review, fill a gap, make a gap in literature review, or improve some point there. Yes, so I think today we go through like introduction, significance of the proposed research, and literature review. So next week we will continue with research method and other part of the research proposal, and then we can complete this part. And I think after that you will have time to write your research proposal. So I think next week we should have a discussion session about like all part we have discussed during the course, and also we will have some like questions about the midterm exercise and the final report. So you should spend some time to prepare and to review things, and then to prepare questions if any, like you want to ask to clarify some point. So we can spend some time next week to do so. So for now, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that means, okay, I understand that you do not have any other questions. So we can stop our lecture today here, and yeah, have a nice weekend and see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah. Yes, please.
I sent you an email
Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly.
I sent you an email.
The background, the sound background is noisy.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna write you in the chat. Just a moment.
Okay.
We sent you an email because we don't have very much information about this subject. We don't know it. We're from ICT Master and we're exchange student from France.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so we,
feel free
we-
to write me email.
but we already write you. Did you see it?
Let me verify it because yeah, I receive quite a lot of email every day. So if it's possible, so just give me another like a remind email,
And
and then I can see it.
we sent you at this address. Is this the good address?
Yes, that one. So
Okay.
sometimes, yeah, it goes.
I'm going to send you right now.
Spam or yeah, or you just leave a reminder.
Yeah, I just sent it
Yeah. Okay.
right now. So can you check it, because we don't have much information and we would like to know how this subject is graded,
Mm,
and we didn't
so
receive any.
which information you want to receive? So basically, okay, I got your email. So again, so for not only for you or group, but also for other students. So in this, you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read our email?
Okay. So I will read your email and reply by email.
Okay. Yeah. So we can talk by email, because we didn't receive any email from you and from this subject. So during all the
Okay.
subjects.
Maybe like your email is not included in the mailing list.
Yeah, so we were not even able to know what was the subject about, and if there was some stuff to give back, some stuff to handle, but
Okay.
to hand back. So we
Okay.
need information.
Okay. So as I said earlier today, so I will send another email to all class, and then to give you more information about the midterm exercise and the final report. So don't worry about it. Yeah. But anyway, like when you receive my email, if it's not clear enough, so you can go back to me anytime.
Okay, but again, I think we are not in the email list. So if you send an email to the whole class, we won't receive it.
And now I see your email, so I will include your email in the my email, next email.
Okay, thank you very much for the information.
No
I'll let you read and reply to my email. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Other question? Bye bye. So if you do not have any other questions, so we can leave the class. Okay. So have a nice weekend. Bye bye.